Hi there, thanks for clicking on today's video. There are days I just stand still, look around the house, and wonder how it got this messy, even though I literally just cleaned yesterday. It's not about being lazy. It's that my mind feels just as messy as the room scattered out of sync, and honestly, a bit defeated. You know that feeling when you finally finish the dishes, and suddenly the toys are all over the living room again? Or you fold all the laundry and somehow the table is piled with random stuff no one knows where to put. I used to live in that loop and I quietly blamed myself for not being able to keep up. But over time, I realized it's not about cleaning more. It's about changing a few small habits so the house doesn't bounce back into chaos the second you turn your back. I don't have a lot of extra time. I work from home, homeschool, 4 kids, the whole deal. But these shifts helped me stop having to do a big, exhausting reset every week. If your home's been feeling a little too loud and too full lately, maybe one of these tips will help you breathe a little easier too. Number 1, let's start with something most of us do without even realizing we leave our own stuff for last. The toys get picked up, the dishes get done, someone's homework gets filed away. But your own things. That growing pile beside the bed, the bag that hasn't been emptied in 2 weeks, the drawer full of stuff you haven't touched in months, it just waits. And the longer it waits, the more invisible you feel. Because when your space is always the last priority, eventually you start putting yourself last too. What helped me change that? I chose one small corner that belonged to me and made it mine again. It could be your bedside table, a shelf in the closet, or just the space around your mirror. I cleared it, wiped it down, and only put back what I actually liked seeing or use daily. For example, I had this little ceramic dish I used to love, buried under receipts and broken clips. I put that dish back, dropped in a hand cream I use every night, and a lip balm I always lose. That's it. But the next time I walked past it made me smile instead of sigh. I'll be sharing more ideas like this, including how to reset your entryway in under 10 minutes in tomorrow's video. So stay tuned. That small moment gave me momentum, and when you're ready to move on, I'll show you the one method that finally got me out of the I'll do it tomorrow loop. Most of us start decluttering thinking we'll just do a little, but somehow 3 hours pass and we're still surrounded by half-finished piles, tired, annoyed, and wishing we hadn't started at all. That's why I started setting a timer. 40 minutes, 60 max. I pick one small area, press start, and stop when it rings. Even if I'm not done. Even if I feel like I could keep going. Because it's not about squeezing in as much as possible. It's about having boundaries, especially when your energy is already thin. One night I had 45 minutes before I needed to cook dinner. I told myself just the hallway bench and that one shelf that collects junk. That's it. When the timer went off, I stopped. And for once I didn't crash. I wasn't snappy with the kids, and I didn't feel like I lost the whole evening to just a quick tidy up. Timers give you structure, a reason to begin and permission to stop. It's one of the few ways I've found to keep decluttering from taking over everything else. Next, let's talk about the kind of clutter that doesn't look messy, but still makes your space feel heavy. Some items don't scream, keep, or toss. They just sit there silently judging you, like that candle you've never lit or that cardigan that's been in style since 2012. Maybe. And that's where most of us get stuck. You stare at it, it stares back, no one wins. So here's the move: set up a small maybe box. When something feels like a mental tug of war, just place it in the box, label it with the date, and walk away like a boss. The rule: if you haven't opened that box in 30 days, you probably don't need what's inside. Unless you're storing chocolate in there, in which case, check sooner. I did this with a set of mugs I kept purely out of guilt gifts I never used, but couldn't seem to part with. They sat in the maybe box for 6 weeks. No one came asking about them. No one cried. And when I donated them, I felt relief, not regret. This works because it delays the decision without delaying your progress. You don't have to be ruthless. You just need breathing room. Next, I'll show you a habit that made even my busiest mornings feel less like a scavenger hunt. There's nothing more frustrating than being late and digging through 3 drawers to find your go-to mascara, your keys, or the one pen that actually works. If you use it daily, it shouldn't be buried. Sounds obvious, right? But somehow the stuff we use most ends up behind 10 things we barely touch. So here's the shift. Create one small spot just for your everyday things, not someday, not special occasion, just your actual daily survival kit. I have a shallow tray by my sink. It holds only what I use every morning, moisturizer, deodorant, brow gel, and the one hair tie that hasn't snapped on me yet. That's it. No backup products, no extras just in case I change routines. Just the basics I actually reach for with one eye open. It's like having a fast lane for your stuff. And let's be honest, when the morning already feels like a speed run with low energy and half a cup of coffee, any shortcut helps. Next, I'll show you how I use cheap storage tricks that look like they came from Pinterest but didn't cost more than 10 bucks. You don't need an acrylic organizer that costs more than your monthly Wi-Fi bill. Some of the best storage tricks, they're hiding in the office supply aisle or your kid's pencil case. I've used zippered pencil pouches to sort cords, a cereal box, as a drawer divider, and binder clips to hang chip bags and organize hair ties. Is it fancy? No. But it works. And it costs next to nothing. My favorite find, a $1 plastic index card box I now use for backup medicine packets and Band-Aids. Before that, they were just floating around in 5 different drawers like they had free will. Decluttering isn't about buying prettier containers for things you still don't use. It's about making what you do use easier to see, grab, and put back without spending half your weekend at the store. Pinterest level pretty is optional. Functional is forever. Next, I'll show you how I stopped stuffing one drawer with 10 purposes and why giving each drawer one job made my whole space feel less chaotic. Ever had that drawer where you reach in for a charger and pull out a sock, a receipt from 2021, and a random spoon? Yeah, me too. That drawer wasn't confused, I was. So I started giving each drawer just one job. One holds stationery, one is for skincare, one has snacks I pretend are for the kids. It sounds small, but there's something deeply satisfying about opening a drawer and knowing exactly what belongs there. No mystery, no weird surprises, no mental clutter every time you reach in. I even labeled one drawer "Nothing else goes here," just to remind future me not to get clever. When each drawer has a clear role, you stop stuffing things into the nearest empty space just for now, because we both know just for now means until 2026. Next, let's talk about the emotional side of decluttering and what I do when I realize an item doesn't match who I am anymore. Some clutter isn't about mess, it's about identity. You look at a pair of heels you haven't worn in 5 years and think, maybe one day. But that version of you, the one who went to events dressed up, had time for 3-step routines, she's not the one doing life right now. And that's okay. I had workout gear for a version of me that did yoga at sunrise. Spoiler alert, she doesn't live here. The real me walks laps while microwaving leftovers and calls it cardio. So I let those clothes go, not out of shame, but out of honesty. Because every time I saw them, they whispered, "You're not doing enough." Now that space holds what I actually use. No guilt, no pressure, just alignment. Decluttering gets easier when you stop organizing for the woman you were or think you should be, and start making space for the one you are. Next, I'll show you how something as simple as changing your bed sheets can completely reset the mood in your space. Sometimes the fastest way to feel like your home has changed is to change nothing except your sheets. I don't know what it is, maybe the smell of fresh fabric, maybe the feeling of pulling up a smooth blanket, but clean bedding has this weird way of making you feel like you've got your life together, even if the rest of the room is chaos. I used to delay changing sheets for way too long. It felt like a bonus task after all the other cleaning was done, but now it's one of my resets. If the day was rough, if the house feels too loud, if my brain's a mess, I make the bed fresh. Even just switching pillowcases makes a difference. And no, I don't always style it with perfect throw pillows. I'm not auditioning for a catalog. I just want to walk into the room and feel a little more like myself again. Decluttering isn't always about getting rid of stuff. Sometimes it's just about refreshing what's already there, so the space feels supportive, not stressful. Next, I'll share one trick I use to create tiny zones that help me actually keep things in place. One reason stuff doesn't stay in place. It's not because we're messy, it's because we're storing things by category, not by when or how we actually use them. I used to keep all my skincare in one spot, all my pens in another. Makes sense, right? But I'd still find the toner in the kitchen, the pen in the bathroom, and the lip balm. Well, who knows? So instead of organizing by type, I started organizing by routine. I now have a small night drawer by my bed with just what I use before sleep. Face mist journal, hand cream. I have a morning grab-and-go tray by the door, keys, lip balm, hair tie, protein bar. Tiny zones built around real habits, not Pinterest logic. This made it easier to put things back because they live where I actually use them, not where they belong. When your space matches your rhythm, clutter doesn't have to be constantly managed. It just flows. Next, let's talk about the one area that tends to collect everything we don't know what to do with and how I finally made peace with it. Every home has that spot. The just put it here for now spot. Maybe it's the end of the kitchen counter. Maybe it's the chair that never gets sat on. Maybe it's your entire dining table. For me, it was a basket near the stairs, and for a long time it was the Bermuda Triangle of my house. Things went in, never came out. But here's what helped. Instead of fighting the drop zone, I gave it a job. Now it's a designated to be sorted spot, and I treat it like an inbox, not a storage unit. Twice a week, okay? Once, if we're being honest, I go through it. Mail gets dealt with, random toys go back upstairs, receipts either get filed or tossed. It doesn't take long. And knowing that it's meant to catch the mess makes me less stressed when it fills up. The goal isn't to never have clutter. It's to contain it, to know where it is and when you'll deal with it. Next, I'll share a tiny mindset shift that helped me stop feeling like decluttering had to take extra energy and instead became something I could build into what I already do. One of the reasons decluttering feels exhausting is because we treat it like a whole separate project, a thing we have to carve time out for plan prep and then feel guilty about not doing. But what if it wasn't its own thing? What helped me was stacking small decluttering habits onto routines I already had, like this. Every time I boil water for tea at night, I clear out one kitchen drawer. While I wait for the kids' bath to fill, I toss 5 things from the bathroom shelf. Just 5. Not dramatic, just layered in. It's the same idea as brushing your teeth while the shower heats up, small, automatic, not heavy. One week I did this every evening without realizing it. And by the weekend, the junk drawer was actually usable again. Not because I made time, but because I stopped waiting for perfect time. When decluttering fits into your real day, not your ideal day, it becomes a rhythm, not a chore. Next, I'll share the last tip, the one that keeps my house from spiraling back into chaos, even when I have zero energy. No matter how organized you are, there will always be random things that don't belong anywhere, yet somehow end up everywhere. That's why I have one single bin for stuff I'll deal with later. Not 3, not 1 in every room, just 1. It lives in the hallway closet. And whenever I find something I don't have the brain space to sort a birthday card, a lone sock, a charger, I don't recognize it goes in there. But here's the key. I empty it every Sunday. It's not a black hole. It's just a pause button. And knowing I'll come back to it means I don't have to make 30 tiny decisions in the middle of a busy day. It's not about never having clutter. It's about giving the clutter a deadline so it doesn't quietly take over. And now that we've gone through all 12, I want to leave you with one simple reminder as we wrap up. So those are 12 small things I've built into my weeks to keep our home feeling lighter, not perfect, just easier to live in. If your days feel cluttered in your space, in your mind, in your schedule, maybe just pick one of these and start there. Not all 12, not all at once. Just one shift, one drawer, one honest decision at a time. And if this kind of content helps your brain breathe a little easier, I have a full playlist coming where we break down specific areas, kitchens, closets, paper piles, all real, all doable. Thanks for being here. If the video helped, feel free to share it with someone who needs it or subscribe for more, because you deserve a home that gives you room to rest, not just more to manage.